Well, good morning and hello, everybody. So it is 11 o'clock, and as I promised, for the next 5 days, which started yesterday, so this is day 2, I will be live every day for 5 days at 11 o'clock to tell you a little bit more about the cleanse that I'm doing, which is the Prolon cleanse, and also telling you a little bit about what it really means and diet. Actually, I don't know if you have been on my website. It's Kick-Ass Happiness for Women Who Are Not Done Yet. And the theme of kick-ass happiness seems a little bit strange for me because I'm not kind of the person who would use this word, easily. And yet there is a whole story about it. And one of them is that I needed my own kick-ass to kick my own ass to get me going into the things that I really wanted to achieve for myself personally and for a bigger vision. So as we get older, sometimes we have the tendency to get a little bit complacent, just like cables are deep in the ground and roots are more difficult to pull up. Old habits are more difficult to shed. So that's why I chose Kick-Ass Happiness. And the 90 days to your most radiant and energized body and happiness and wealth starts with your body. And this is why I started with the cleanse. And this is a good time to do it, of course, after the holidays. So it is kind of kick-ass in your physical body. That will be the theme for the first 2 or 3 weeks. And the physical body is not just your now it's a fasting or a cleanse, but it is really what is food all about? What does our body, what does your body really need? Because your body may have a little bit of a different need than my body, even though our bodies are ancient and the food that our bodies was designed to consume for energy, for health, for strength, for resilience, because, we didn't have antibiotics and all of this. You had to stay healthy in order to not only reproduce, but also to hunt for your food. So these bodies that we inhabit today went through a lot of evolutionary changes, but they are also very primitive and basic in their needs. And food is the most basic needs we have, right? To get this whole incredible system that is our physical body, with all of its the chemical balance, the hormonal balance. Everything is fed by the food we eat. So that's why food is so important. And we will talk so much more about it. And I hope you have started some kind of cleansing or diet plan. So I see Eileen here and Kishlane O'Brien, yes, and Richard Halpern. Thanks for being here. Okay, so very quickly, this is the diet that I have chosen for 5 days. And it is scientifically proven to rejuvenate, regenerate, and revive. So yesterday, the last meal was a soup again. And I didn't do very well on it. And I got a little crampy and bloating. And then I realized that there were peas in there and minestrone soup. So somehow my body didn't like it very much. So I ended up having to take a probiotic, and then after that I felt better. So listen to your body, because sometimes if it's part of a diet and your body tells you if it likes it or if it doesn't like it, and if it doesn't like it, then help it a little bit. Probiotics are actually a very good way to help you digest a food that your body has a little bit of an issue with. Okay, so in this today I have a minestrone soup, so I have to see how this works, and the mushroom soup for lunch, and then of course all of the other things, the olives and the bars and all of that. And I must tell you that it's only the second day, and I cannot say that I feel better. I actually feel a little bit grumpy, and I think it's the withdrawal of probably the carbs and the sugars that I have over the holidays. So watch your emotional and your mental state as well. It helped me to just go out and take a brisk walk. So that usually helps your mood. Go out in nature, do something for yourself that you love to do. Okay, so and something else came to mind yesterday when I was searching for diets. I'm from Germany, so I remember back in Germany many decades ago, that there was a strong, I don't think it was a fad, it was just a suggestion to reduce the food groups that you eat to just one food group per meal, which means you don't have meat and potatoes with gravy and a salad and vegetables and all of this on one plate, but you have just one food group. And I thought about this yesterday, and it made a lot of sense to me, because after my stomach acted up like that, I said, why do we put so many different things in our stomach at the same time? And then the digestive juices have such a hard time to digest these different food groups. So I believe after this cleanse, and maybe this is a good suggestion for everybody who does one, plan ahead. What would you like to change in your diet after you've finished your cleanse? And for me, I think I'm going to simplify my food. I will shift, I will take carbs out almost altogether. And it may be a test again. I know we say eat a lot of greens, a lot of vegetables. And I have a little bit of a question with that. Yes, we have all kind of been taught and agreed upon, eat your greens, eat your greens. And yet, when you go and research plants, it's very interesting that plants actually have inbuilt defense systems, toxins. Plants are just as complicated or complex, or maybe even more at times than animals. Animals can run away, right? We used to be hunters, and we used to hunt, and the animal ran away. And if we were strong enough to catch it or to shoot it with the arrow or so, we had a meal. With plants, it's a little bit different. They have all kinds of defense mechanisms not to be eaten. And some of them are actually toxic compounds that they have within them. I mean, we all know, maybe we have been taught that don't eat too much spinach, or don't, warm up spinach once or twice because it becomes toxic. So that's one of the vegetables. But I have been looking into other vegetables, and it's amazing how many things we take for granted that they should be healthy actually have a toxicity in them as well. So just to make you aware of it. And it reminded me that actually our native food, the food that God put on this earth for us, for each other to feed on, because it's all a cycle, right? Is really not what we are manufacturing today. And vegetables and fruits are part of the manufacturing process. The ancient apple or the ancient wild vegetable. I don't even know what an ancient vegetable is. that was not farmed or through agriculture being raised, probably had many more components to it that were in alignment with our own digestive system. Now, of course, we are eating all of these things that look so beautiful because they have been genetically engineered, they have been preserved in a certain way. And I have that big question that probably the most natural food that's on this planet are the wild the wild herbs that you can gather, and animal flesh and fish, seafood, the lamb, the bull or the bison. All of the animals in different countries. There were different animals that the ancient people were feeding off. That's natural food, and I believe those things could have never given us all of the diseases that we have today. A couple of 100 years ago, we didn't have the diseases that we have today because the food was more natural. So I just want to give you this heads up. After you're finished with your diet, make a choice of how you want to move forward with your diet after you did the cleanse. Maybe you want to reduce something and see if you feel better. Definitely carbs. Carbs are really not part of our natural diet. They are not. And another thing, if you eat a fruit, do not eat it, or a fruit dessert, do not eat it at the end of a meal. A fruit should always be eaten just by itself. Nothing added to it. Because if you have carbs and put a fruit onto that or together with that, it just ferments and it creates alcohol in your body and it rots. The fruit rots. So you don't want this. The fruit should always be eaten by itself and first, because it passes through your system and gets digested the easiest. Okay? So this was really the thing that I wanted to share with you today. There will be so much more. For example, tomorrow I will add something else to our discussion. Today it was maybe reduce the many food choices you have in one meal to maybe only 2, or try just one. And see how that is. Tomorrow we will talk about something else. And just become more aware what you put into your body. And go back in your memory. There is a primal memory in your body that knows exactly what it's supposed to do and eat. Okay? And that primal instinct has been, of course, corrupted by everything we see today, and we want this and we eat that, and we have all these varieties and these choices that confuse us. And yes, of course, it is, if you just eat a piece of meat and have nothing else, when your hunger will be satisfied after something, and then you don't crave it anymore, right? But try that with a piece of cake or with something simple carbohydrate. It will go, your hunger will return very quickly. And you don't have that natural switch off. I have enough now, I'm not hungry anymore. Actually, it will kind of go on. And if you allow it to go on, you become addicted, right? I don't think you get addicted to meat, but you can get addicted to carbohydrates, definitely. So that should tell you something. Are carbohydrates natural to our original diet? That's a question, and I would love for you to maybe comment on that or just share your thoughts on that. I would really appreciate it. And let me know if you're doing any kind of diet, any kind of cleansing that you're going through right now. That would be amazing. Okay, so there is Jack and my beautiful Tatiana and Jacqueline and Jay. So many people here. Thank you so much for listening to me. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. And don't forget to come back tomorrow at 11 o'clock when I share my third day on the Prolon diet, but also give you some extra tips. Bye-bye for now. I love you. I treasure you, and I'm so grateful that you are with me. And share your thoughts. Bye-bye for now.